A. Discuss. What is telepathy? Have you heard or read about people who can communicate with someone else by using their mind?
What is telepathy? In simple terms, telepathy is the hypothetical ability to communicate directly from one mind to another without using any of our five known senses: sight, hearing, touch, taste, or smell. It's often called mind reading or thought transference. If you've heard stories about twins who sense when the other is in trouble, or seen a psychic in a film who can hear people's thoughts, these are examples of the idea of telepathy. It's a very popular concept in science fiction and folklore. The science and the mystery. While it's a fascinating idea, it's important to know that there is no scientific proof that telepathy exists. Scientists who have studied it, often in a field called parapsychology, have not been able to reproduce telepathic effects reliably in controlled experiments. Our brains are incredibly powerful and communicate through complex electrical and chemical signals. The scientific view is that what we might think is telepathy could sometimes be explained by other factors. Subtle cues. We often pick up on tiny, unconscious body language, micro-expressions, or changes in tone of voice that give us a feeling of knowing what someone is thinking. Shared experience. If you know someone very well, like a best friend or a family member, you can often predict their thoughts or feelings because you share similar experiences and ways of thinking. Coincidence. Sometimes a surprising coincidence can feel like a telepathic connection. Food for thought. Let's use a fun analogy to think about it. Imagine your mind is a kitchen, and your thoughts are the food you're cooking. You can't simply send a plate of spaghetti directly from your kitchen to your friend's kitchen down the street, right? You need a delivery method, a car, a bike, a person walking. Our normal communication, talking, texting, writing, is like that delivery service. Telepathy, on the other hand, would be like wishing the spaghetti onto your friend's plate and having it instantly appear. A wonderful idea, but we don't have the technology for it. So while we might not be able to send our thoughts like a text message, the mystery of human connection, intuition, and the sheer power of the brain are still incredible things to think about. What do you think? Is it a lost human ability, or just a wonderful story we tell ourselves?
Twin minds think alike? Telepathy is the ability to communicate with someone else by using your mind. The communication could include anything from transferring thoughts, feelings, or other kinds of information. There are three groups that are thought to have telepathic abilities: dogs and their owners, a mother and her newborn baby, and identical twins. Of these groups, twins have the strongest telepathic connection. Scientists believe that this is true because identical twins share the same brain waves, which allows both of them to experience and feel things at the same time, even when they are not in the same place. Many studies have been done regarding the phenomena of the twin psychic connection, but a 2003 study that took place in a London TV studio puts to rest many doubts people may have of the existence of twin telepathy. 8-year-old Damien and Richard Powells sat in separate soundproof rooms in the studio. Richard was told to roll up his sleeve and put his arm into a bucket of ice water. He gasped from the shock of the cold. Meanwhile, Damien, who was in his room and unaware of what was happening to his brother, also gasped at the same time. Damien was attached to a polygraph machine, which monitored his breathing, stomach muscles, pulse, and the amount of sweat on the palms of his hands. Professional polygrapher Jeremy Barrett was recording the results and analyzing them. Neither Damien nor Barrett knew what was going on in the other room at any time during the experiment. In the next experiment, Richard was asked to open a cardboard box placed in front of him. Instead of something pleasant, like chocolate, in the box, a plastic snake jumped out at him, frightening him. Barrett said that at the exact moment, Damien showed signs of distress through his heart rate and pulse line. There are many other stories of instances like this between twins. Two young girls, one at a party at another house and one at home, are a good example. The young girl that was at home burnt her hand. At the same moment, the other girl at the party developed the same kind of blister in the exact same spot on her hand as her sister. Another example is a man who collapsed in a chair, clutching his chest in pain, at the exact moment his twin brother was shot in the chest more than 30 miles away. There may never be definitive proof that all identical twins have telepathic powers, but there is enough evidence to suggest that this kind of psychic connection is possible.
B. Read the text quickly and answer the question below. Who did the writer write the text for? A. Professionals in the field of psychology. B. Twin brothers and sisters. C. The general public. D. People with telepathic abilities. C. Read the text again and answer the following questions. Choose A, B, C, or D. According to the writer, telepathy, A, is the ability to use your mind. B, has to do with how people feel in stressful situations. C, is a form of communication of thoughts and feelings. D, is the strongest psychic connection between twins. Why do scientists believe that twins have the strongest telepathic connection? A, because they have the same experiences. B, because they're usually in the same places. C, because their brains control their feelings. D, because their brains work in a similar way. What happened when Richard opened the cardboard box? A, he was pleased. B, he was disappointed. C, he was scared. D, he remained calm. Damien and Richard, A, had similar reactions. B, knew what each other was doing. C, were attached to polygraph machines. D, did not believe they were telepathic. Why does the writer mention the twin sisters and the twin brothers in the last paragraph? A, to prove that all identical twins have telepathic powers. B, to show that twins can feel each other's pain. C, to show that both male and female twins are telepathic. D, to scientifically explain telepathy between twins. D, match the words highlighted in the text with their meanings A-H. There are two extra meanings which you do not need to use. Regarding. A, checked. Unaware. B, connected. Attached. C, worried. Monitored. D, concerning. Clutching. E, including. Definitive. F, not informed. G, holding tightly. H, final. E, discuss. Would you like to have telepathic abilities? Why? Why not? Do you think that the human mind has powers that are not fully used? Would you like to have telepathic abilities? Why? Why not? This is a brilliant question because the answer isn't as simple as it seems. My own thoughts are quite mixed. Why I might like it. Deeper connections.
Imagine being able to truly understand how a friend or family member feels beyond what they say. It could end misunderstandings and create a profound level of empathy. The end of loneliness. In moments of feeling alone, you could feel a genuine connection to someone else. Practical perks. Think about it. No more losing your phone. You could just think a message to your friend. Or, in an emergency, you could call for help silently. Why I would probably not like it. A noisy world. Our own thoughts are complicated and often messy. Now imagine hearing the constant, unfiltered thoughts of everyone on a busy train or in a supermarket. It would be incredibly overwhelming and noisy. The need for privacy. Privacy isn't just about closing the bathroom door. It's about having a space inside your own head. Telepathy would mean you could never have a private thought again. Likewise, you might learn things about others that they never wanted to share. Honesty and politeness. Sometimes we think things in a moment of frustration that we don't truly mean. If everyone heard those instant thoughts, feelings would be hurt constantly. A little white lie like, "I love your new haircut," can sometimes be kinder than the brutal, instant truth of a thought. Do you think that the human mind has powers that are not fully used? Absolutely yes. While I don't think we have sci-fi style telepathy, the human mind has incredible untapped potential that we are only just beginning to understand. Science shows us that we use only a fraction of our brain's capabilities at any one time. This doesn't mean 90% is unused, but rather that its full potential isn't constantly activated. Think of your brain like a powerful computer. You might only be using a simple word processor, while it's capable of complex video editing and scientific calculations. Some of these unused powers include neuroplasticity. This is your brain's amazing ability to rewire itself, learn new things, and recover from injury throughout your entire life. We often stop challenging our brains as we get older, but we have this power our whole lives. Intuition. Sometimes called a gut feeling, this is your subconscious mind processing millions of tiny details that your conscious mind has missed. Learning to trust this is like using a hidden sense. The placebo effect. This proves that the mind's belief can cause real physical changes in the body, like healing pain or even reducing symptoms of illness. This is a real, measurable power of thought over matter. Food for thought. Let's think about telepathy not as reading words in someone's head, but as a supercharged version of empathy. True empathy is the ability to step into someone else's shoes and understand their feelings and perspectives. We can all develop this power. It doesn't require a special gene. We do it by listening carefully, asking good questions, and being genuinely curious about other people's experiences. So perhaps we already have the seeds of telepathy within us. The real question is, how can we get better at using that power? What do you think? Would the loss of privacy be worth the deeper connection? Use the correct form of the words in the boxes to complete the sentences. Harm, hurt, injure. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Fortunately, no one was seriously injured in the accident. Scientists believe that chemical fertilizers can harm our health. Injury, bruise, pain. My mother was in terrible pain after her operation. The football player was not able to play in the World Cup because he had a serious knee injury. The day after the rugby match, I had a big bruise on my left cheek. Rash, scratch, blister. I have a blister on my foot. Could you get me a plaster? When I eat strawberries, I get a rash all over my body. I'm allergic to them. It was a miracle that Lucy escaped from the burning building with only a few scratches. Faint, choke, gasp. When I finally reached the surface of the water, I gasped for air. Polly suddenly felt dizzy, and then she fainted. Brian nearly choked on a piece of meat. Instructions for Microsoft Word. Paste the text into a new Word document. Select all the text, go to the Layout tab and set the margins to normal. Go to the Home tab and click the Justify button or press Ctrl-J to align the text evenly to both margins.
3. Phrasal verbs. Match the phrasal verbs in bold in the sentences below with their meanings. It took me nearly 2 weeks to get over the flu. The singer was not able to perform because she came down with a cold. When I came round, I was lying in a hospital bed. When the doctor brought me round, I didn't know what had happened to me. The painkillers started to wear off after about an hour, and my legs started really hurting me. The doctor told Julie she was worn out from looking after her 5 children and that she needed to get some rest. Meanings: A. Exhausted. B. Make someone conscious again. C. Slowly have no effect. D. Catch an illness. E. Recover consciousness. F. Recover from.